This is a T-Sauce instrumental.
Yo, what up? It's Fro Thizzle in the building. Ha. Let's light one up. Tony, what up? What up? We in the building, right? We're gonna do it like this. Tony's talk, listen up to Tony talk. Tony's talk, listen up to Tony talk. Crack a brew, pull a chair, light it up. Tony's talk, listen up to Tony talk. Salcedo, he be the Mexicano. The boss in the building believe that he be El Macho. Interviewing the making, the voice of the people. Try to shut the show down, your attempts be feeble. Follow the leader, acknowledge the one with the mic. We can even bring the ladies in and party all night. Pull up a chair, take a seat, broadcast on. Cool as can be when we blast raw rap songs. Roll up a bleezy, how we make it seem so easy. Throw up the PC, West Coast, oh so steez. No joke, in the breeze, palm trees, Venice Beach, OC. Listen up to Tony talk when he speak. He got your favorite guest, your favorite rapper. He got all of your favorites, your favorite actor. Tony on the talk, Tony Montana. Keep your ears open cause Tony got the answers. Tony's talk, listen up to Tony talk. Tony's talk, listen up to Tony talk. Crack a brew, pull a chair, light it up. Tony's talk, listen up to Tony talk.
Yo, what's good? It's your man Tony Nario. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the interview. Hope you enjoyed the tracks. Make sure to show love to Tony's Talk Podcast. Only right here, man, on Tony's Talk Podcast. Y'all know what it is, man. Feel the breeze, putos. Yeah. Right about now, you probably opening the CD case. I might have sold it to you personally. Shit, you never know. Might have just downloaded it off of iTunes. I'm gonna take you on a little journey with me. I'm gonna paint you a nice little picture of who I am. Check it out. I wake up in the morning, 5:30, bright and early. Sun ain't even set yet, still I'm up working. Smoke on my breath from the cold I inhale. Still I work hard for my life to prevail. We all do dirt, thank God I dodged jail. Pitching on the block, I'm sure y'all know what that entails. So I stepped it up a notch, stopped messing with the block. Robberies botch, my eyes peeled like a hawk. Mama always said there'll be days like this. So when the shit hits the fan, I don't even get pissed. I take the ups and the downs with a grain of salt. Look back on my past and I see my faults. I was a good kid, mixed up with the wrong folks. So every night I helped mama with the pot roast and played ball till the lights came on. Until Pop started yelling, boy, get your ass home.
Soon you'll see just where you're supposed to be. So come take a trip with me. Roll up and down the street. Soon you'll see we all take a different road. Nobody really knows how it's gonna be, but soon you'll see.
Years fly by, I don't even feel them no more. I take it day by day, seeing what's in store. Elementary been gone, junior high been gone. High school I was a mess, man, them times been gone. Got my license plate ball, went to prom with one of the hottest chicks the boys was shitting on. Top notch, hot vibes, how I was picking on. Young player in the making, I was getting on. In and out of love, in love with the flesh. Just a young boy thinking life about sex. Getting money, not worried about the rest. Putting value on materials, thinking that was success. But nah, I soon learned the value of life and how not valuing your blessings end up losing your rights. Losing your sight, don't wanna be a loser in life, but I'm a winner. I never been the losing side.
Soon you'll see just where you're supposed to be. So come take a trip with me. Roll up and down the street. Soon you'll see we all take a different road. Nobody really knows how it's gonna be, but
so I sat down and buckle up, map out a formula, never back down, knuckle up, look in my cornea. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul, and I ain't never been the type to let a person take control. My soul is my soul, my heart is my heart. Take that from me, I hope you're ready to go far. See, I'm ready to go hard, always playing the game smart. So don't get out of line if you ain't willing to play the part. I've been doing me, now they mimicking my moves. Gimmicks in they music, now they looking like some tools. 30 years down the line, bet I'm still doing me. Fresh kicks, fresh denim, Ralph Lauren polo tee. I'm so classic, listen to how I'm spazzing. None of my vocals clashing. Shout out my nigga in glasses. Love where my life is at, it's fantastic. I'm taking y'all in time, my stories you can have.
Soon you'll see just where you're supposed to be. So come take a trip with me. Roll up and down these streets. Soon you'll see we all take a different road. Nobody really knows how it's gonna be, but soon you'll see. Soon you'll see. Soon you'll see. Soon you'll see. Reminiscing the life. Reminiscing the life.
Cruising in my whip, top down, reminiscing. Hand 12 o'clock on the wheel, busting missions. Pocked in the deck, so you know I'm focused listening. Popo on our tails, running license like we stealing. Still bending corners when my partners making killings. Ain't gotta be a gangster when you running with the realest. What I learned from you, Bandit, if you want it, go and get it. And if you start something, don't stop until you finish. So we keep getting money in this game called life. And we stay fresh fitted, so they know we are hype. Nice kicks, fresh jeans, couple chains, couple watches, C notes in our socks, platinum cards in our wallets. Smart street hustlers learn how to invest the profit. The ones that don't, well, they gotta take the losses. And if you make it out, shut your mouth and be cautious. We all know the game, so we know the streets
Follow
watching.
the code of the streets ever since I was young. Ran with the worst of the bunch, I was out having fun. Still got my stripes, I was there in the midst of the crime. I shed those tears for my peers, reminiscing the life.
Jealousy breeds envy and that's a fact. I'm done helping motherfuckers who stab me in the back. I gotta keep it pushing and I'm so far ahead. In the lead, comfy cushion, really getting this bread. I always remember what this gentleman said. I was only 15, but it stuck in my head. More money, more problems, more women, more condoms, more game, more knowledge, more fakes in your column. I got it, I get it, I understood the content. Dudes be worse than bitches and I don't need the nonsense. This is why I'm constant but conscious of the conflict. Stick to the topic, the logic in my process. Yo, I'm light years ahead of these cats, and I'ma be right here running victory laps. Ain't gotta be in the streets to know the code of the streets, but be part of the streets and know what they
Follow
mean.
the code of the streets ever since I was young. Ran with the worst of the bunch, I was out having fun. Still got my stripes, I was there in the midst of the crime. I shed those tears for my peers, reminiscing the life. 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 Follow the code of the streets ever since I was young. Ran with the worst of the bunch, I was out having fun. Still got my stripes, I was there in the midst of the crime. I shed those tears for my peers, reminiscing the life. Reminiscing the life. Reminiscing the life. Reminiscing the life. Reminiscing the life.
Tony Nario, what up, man?
What up, man? How you doing?
Good, and yourself?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. My bad. I had put my earpiece in, so I wasn't sure if you could hear me good or not.
No, I can hear you. You're perfect. Thank you. Thank you for coming on Tony's Talk tonight, man. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, likewise,
Can
man.
you tell the
Thank you for
can you
having
tell
me.
the listeners? Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. Always a pleasure to have a great artists like yourself on the podcast. And just great individuals.
Thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do for the listeners that don't know you?
Well, my name is Tony Nario. Also go by Alcatraz, Hip Hop Alcatraz. I'm a recording artist. I'm a father. I'm a hip hop connoisseur. I'm a boxing connoisseur.
Okay,
But-
that's right.
Yeah, but this is obviously this interview is more about the new album that I just put out. So recording artists, they can look everything up under Tony Nario, TonyNario.
Okay, perfect, man. You have some pretty dope tracks, man. You work with the homie Breez as well, man. You guys always put out great tracks. Can you tell me what first got you into music? Like listening to what kind of music did you listen to growing up?
As a kid, man, my dad was bumping, Rodney O and Joe Cooley, LL Cool J,
Okay.
Disco 3, Cool Mo D, Fab Five Freddy, anything you could think of, he was, playing it. And then Ice-T, and then as everything progressed. So I grew up listening to a lot of that stuff and a lot of those artists. And obviously, being a little kid at the time, I just grew and I was influenced by all that. And, I got into pop locking, and I was always intrigued by the graffiti and just the culture in itself. Then we moved to Inglewood, California, and I think it was like 1984, 85, somewhere around there. And, it was different. I started learning the culture from an LA perspective, because at that time, like NWA obviously was West Coast, right? But the dominant part of the culture at that point was still East Coast. Everything was East Coast, and just one thing led to another, man. I think I started messing around on tape recorders and recording myself, and
Okay.
I just started rhyming like little, nursery rhymes and stuff, and it just kind of grew from there, you know what I mean? But I always had music in my life, like while I'm listening to rap music, my mom's playing like Michael Jackson, and like, she had a bunch of records like the Platters and Temptations and all these different records that she would listen to.
That's badass, bro. That's the whole vibe right there, man. That's like the hip hop culture for sure, right there. Like the hip hop culture was listen to all that type of music as well. Even like Chicanos, here in California, we listen to, even corridos, rancheras, stuff like that. So that's tight that you came from the East, you came over to Cali, you got both of the best worlds, So that's badass, man. That's badass.
Yeah.
Can you tell me who inspired you to make music?
I don't know if I would necessarily say
or what did.
Just watching it all grow, man. Just growing up here in LA, growing up watching a lot of it on television, watching my friends do it. Just seeing it happen. I still remember, Beat Street and like Breaking, Electric Boogaloo, like all these movies that were just influenced. I think when it first like kind of went like Main Street pop, like I think my mom and my dad went to go see some old school movie called Flashdance, which was about some chick that was like an aerobics dancer, but that was like the first time break dancing, like they showed it, on a big screen, like, because it was starting to blow up. It was blowing up is what it was. People still thought it was a fad at the time, but it was blowing up. So I think just watching all that, I would say my biggest influence, man, to be honest, like where I just really decided like I wanted to start rhyming was after I heard, Digital Underground. Like Digital Underground was really like influential to me just even starting to try to rap, listening, to the Humpty Dance and Shock G. And, at that point, I didn't even know, like, no one knew Tupac was going to be Tupac. Like, he was just still Tupac from Digital Underground. You know what I mean? Like,
No, I feel you.
yeah, he hadn't blown up yet. So it was just one of those things. But yeah, man, I mean, just, and you gotta, I don't know if you remember any movies. There's like a movie called Disorderlies that was like the Fat Boys were a part of that movie. You know what I mean? I used to always relate because one of the Fat Boys, rest in peace, I believe it's Prince Marky B, who passed away, rest in peace. He was Puerto Rican. So I always attached to hip hop even more when I seen like Latinos, even if they weren't Mexican, because I'm Chicano, but but at the same token, I still look at it like, oh, these fools speak Spanish, like, they're Puerto Rican. Like my parents never raised me to really look at things different like that. So I never looked at like, oh, Salvadoreños, like they're different, or, Guatemalans, they're different. Like I've never really seen it that way. I mean, obviously as you get older, people, you learn things because you're in school, and, I think separation and segregation is taught here in this country. But overall, I was never really just taught that. I mean, I grew up around blacks most of my life in Inglewood, because Raza didn't really move in major numbers in Inglewood till somewhere around 92, somewhere around there. Prior to that, when I moved there, what I say 85, 86 or whatever that was, I think we were like one of 4 Chicano families on the block. Everybody else was black. I think we had like one white family that was our next door neighbors. And everybody else was black on the block. I think the homie Pete and his dad, they moved in later. The homie Tito, they moved in later. I think it was just me, the homie Lewis, and the homie Robert, that were the only ones that were the Mexican families. And Robert was half white. So, I was like, we it was an interesting time to grow up, but at the same time, when you're kids, you don't really look at colors, bro. I could say that.
I feel you, man.
Man, just go play football, play basketball, and that's that. We were all into hip hop though, man. It was that, hip hop has always been a very big influence, man, before it became a cool thing. Like, I went through the stages of being the Mexican kid who was into hip hop, and then like I ended up going to school out in Santa Monica, and a lot of the raza over there are like, oh, you're trying to be black, you're trying to be this, you're trying to be that, because it wasn't caught up yet. You know what I mean? So while I'm wearing my hat, tilted to the side, I'm trying to look like Tupac, like Nas and all these dudes, emulating them and what I'm seeing. Raza's kind of like, what is this fool doing? Because the thing was I was so influenced by East Coast hip hop, so my look was more kind of linked towards that. You get what I'm saying? Whereas if you were West Coast and you were kind of in the lifestyle over here, then you looked probably more like Frost or like Eazy-E. But most times that was most the fools that were like gangsters or trying to be gangsters. You get what I mean?
I feel you. Yeah. I feel you, man. All that, yeah.
The Charlie
that's crazy
Browns,
though. No, I feel you, man. That's crazy too, because it is true. The East Coast did have a big, heavy influence back in the day. Like it was mostly East Coast that you heard, or even like the South a little bit too, But
Uncle Luke, yeah, all that, yeah.
I understand what you're saying about you were never taught to distinguish between races and stuff like that. It's all love. You gotta unite the people. Everyone's got to respect each other. Everyone's got to work together. You know what I mean? So I feel you what you're saying about that.
Yeah, I'm just giving my perspective. Everybody grows up different too,
Yeah, no, I feel you.
I have a really good record that people still play. I don't know if you've heard. It's called Mexicano with me and Midget Loco. And
okay, no, I haven't checked that one out yet.
Oh, you got to check that out, man. It's a great record. Breez produced that one. Him and the homie Oreo from 27 Junkies put it together. And me and Midget wrote the record, and it's called Mexicano. And we're talking about the cultura. We're talking about our history. Because one thing about me, no matter how I grew up, bro, I was always tied into my roots. My mom was born in Mexicali. My dad was born in Tepatitlan, Jalisco.
Okay.
So I was always tied into, the roots of raza and who we are. I just loved hip hop. That was it. So when I met midget, what I was going to tie this into was, having conversations with him, with a guy who grew up predominantly in East LA. Even if he moved around, he predominantly was in East LA. They didn't have a lot of interracial gatherings, so to speak, right? Like, it was mainly just raza in East LA for a long time. And if you were anything other than raza, you kind of grew up in East LA, and if you look at them, like, he knows more about our culture than probably the average person, you know what I mean? Because he grew up around us and he was surrounded by us, LA. So it just depends, like, where you grow. Yeah. Look up his story, man. Him, Taboo. Taboo's Mexican. A lot of people don't even know Taboo. I think that's his name. Taboo is Mexican too. And then the other dude's Filipino. I forgot his name.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. That's pretty tight though. It's crazy. It's all separation and segregation, but it's also gives us like a culture and something to be prideful for. Like, that's only certain people. You know what I mean? Like, I feel you like they say, brown pride, or like black love and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I feel you. It's a crazy topic. You know what I mean? You can say so many things about it, but
right.
How would you describe the music that you typically create?
For me, I have always been an artistic artist. I think when I first started, it was more about like lyricism, because that was the era that I grew up in. So I was emulating East Coast hip hop, not understanding that West Coast music was more about culture, right? Yeah. So my early records were more about like lyricism, being lyrical, trying to be the best lyricist. And then as I evolved, I learned how to make better records and better songs. So I think now my style, I guess, if I had to give it one, it's thought-provoking, but at the same time, just artistic and eclectic. Like, if you listen to the album, like, you'll get, the whole album's called Soon You'll See. But if you listen to like Soon You'll See and Characters, which I don't know if you played already or you're going to play.
Characters is a great track, man. I was going to tell you that, man. That's a great ass track right there.
Thank you, brother. And that's my story. You know what I mean? That's why I'm talking about different people. My cousin Bandit, rest in peace. Like these different ways that I grew up, where I wasn't necessarily from a hood or, heavy in the streets, but I was in the streets. I was always in the streets. You get what I'm saying? And
no, I feel you, man.
I gave that perspective on that record. But then you can go to like Things You Do with T. Lopez, where it's more of a poppy record and it's fun and it's about being romantic, because that's another part that, as raza, I think that's our biggest success. Are records that are like love records when you think about it, because that's naturally in our culture. Like, it's part of it. To be loving, to be affectionate, it's part of it. So I think that's why those records always work. Like, remember when Brown Boy had I Can Be Your Superman, or Bash had like Sugar Sugar, even though that was about smoking weed. If you didn't know any better and you didn't understand the artistry, you might have thought he was talking about a girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Summer Nights, Neighborhood Music, great stories. You know what I mean? So that's just what I would say about my artistry, bro. I just think it's great art, and it's thought provoking a lot of times, because any record that you listen to, I'm gonna drop some gems in there. You know what I mean?
I heard some lyrics recently when I was listening to the tracks you sent in. I was listening to some lyrics and I just slipped my mind which one it was, but it caught my attention. I kept making me think a little bit in my head, like, whoa, that was crazy right there, So
yeah,
I feel you, man. It's thought provoking. It is.
I appreciate that, man.
How is your creative process when you go to write a song, a verse, or anything like that?
These days, shout out to Breez, shout out to my boy Glasses, shout out to Tommy Guns, all the people that I worked with, man. These days, because for the last 9 years that I didn't put nothing out, I've just been sitting in studio sessions off and on, me and Glasses, and I watch him, because he doesn't write on paper. He just writes in his head. He does the whole, how you've heard Biggie and Wayne, And I didn't understand that process before. And I used to think it was impossible because it was like, I had to write on paper. But the thing, what I've noticed, it's cool to write on paper because, there's an art form to it. But I think what we tend to do sometimes when we write as artists is we write margin to margin, because that's literally how paper is. There's a margin to margins. So you write from one margin to the other margin. And when you release yourself of that and you just start to write the lines in your head, which is what I do now, I'll sit there and I think of the first 2 lines, repeat them. I'll do it while I'm driving. And then once I got those 2, I get to the next 2. For me right now, writing in my head has been the best way. It gives me a better flow. It's not as intricate yet because I'm not completely there yet. You know what I mean? So I can't, it's not super lyrical, but I don't necessarily always want every track to be that way either. You know what I mean? Because I think that's where a lot of artists get confused. They think like, oh, I'm going to be super lyrical. Well, the best of the best were not lyrical on every track. Let me tell you, ever. Like, you know what I mean? Like Mos Def, who would be Yasin Bey, who would be probably considered a really dope underground / crossed over, hip hop artist, his biggest records weren't the most lyrical. You know what I mean? And when I say lyrical, because sometimes people like to equate lyricism with multi-syllables and metaphors and punchlines, and it's like, yeah, that's cool, but if that's all you're doing and you're not telling a story, like, then what are you? That's why, like, when we talk about Lil Wayne, like Lil Wayne is dope, super dope. But when it comes to content, like none of his body of work really holds up content wise when you start putting them up against Pac or Big or Nas or Jay. Like those guys have real conceptual records. And Wayne, if you notice, never really had I'm not saying that he hasn't had any, but overall his body of work, he doesn't have super conceptual tracks because his shit was more punchlines, lyrical. You know what I mean?
No, I feel it wasn't really telling a story, and that's what you need. It needs to be catchy and a story, like a repetitive story. That's what it gotta be. You know what I mean? And even the lyrics just gotta be like, just telling a story and painting a picture. Like paint the picture in their head by the words you say. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I think the best of the best do that. Every now and then you have a rapidy rap song that breaks through, like a Pharoah Monch. When he did the Get the Fuck Up track, that was a good one. I think another rap song that made it big was Eminem, Lose Yourself. I mean, that literally was a rap about rapping. When I say rapidy rap, I mean guys that rap about rapping. That's what rapidy rap is.
Okay,
you get what I mean?
Yeah,
They're not, and it's not that it can't be a good song, but I mean, think about it. Like M in that song was literally talking about forgetting his rhymes, mom spaghetti, sweat on it. He's talking about a moment, but it's rapping about rapping. Whereas, did he ever have a song that wasn't about rapping? Yes. Sorry Mama. Remember that one? That wasn't about rapping. That was about his mother being on drugs. That was totally different. But every other, like M was probably one of the best ones I could talk about rappers that rap about rapping. Nas is a great storyteller, of course he comes from that era, like Slick Rick and stuff. I personally now, my boy Manny, because I always give him shit about this just because he's my age and we're a little bit older, so I like the younger artists, but I just give him a hard time because sometimes he's so into the young artists. But Lil Durk is a really good storyteller. I don't know if you've listened to Lil Durk.
I think I heard a couple of his tracks before. They're pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, he's got, like, dig into his album. He's got some great stories. Kodak Black has really good stories. That other kid, the one that went to jail because he told a story about killing somebody, YW Nelly, that was insane. That record you might as well put up there with like Immortal Technique, Dance with the Devil. Like that's
shit.
Because he told a story, bro, and this fool ended up going to court for a murder that he committed, and he made a hit song about the murder he committed.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
That's fucking insane, bro. These kids are crazy, man. But
that just goes to show you right there that music is about expressing yourself and what you're going through, man. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what you're just telling a story. That's what it is, and that's why people. That's what they always say. Like, oh, people are like telling on themselves. Like rappers are telling on themselves about what they're doing, but they're just expressing how they feel. That's what they're living. You know what I mean? So,
Well, I think why people are saying that, Tone, is because we used to tell stories with a little fabrication, at least our artists, right? Like the Biggies and the Jays, the Nas, like they tell you stories, but they tell you,
like, yeah, you're sneaky. Yeah, you're hiding it a little bit. Yeah, yeah, I feel you.
right. But these younger dudes, some of them, I won't say all of them, but a lot of them, because they're getting caught, they're telling actual stories.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Where it's even being brought up in court, and that's insane. They need to relax.
No, that is horrible. That is horrible, man. That is horrible.
Yeah.
No, I feel you, man. Who would you like the most to collaborate with? If you could collaborate with anyone out there right now,
Like someone known or unknown, or doesn't matter?
anyone out there, man. Anyone you would like.
Right now, I mean, now that I've got, like I told you, I took a 9-year hiatus, so now that I'm actually back into the groove of things, I don't know if you knew, my last project that I put out 9 years ago before this one was hosted by DJ Tony Touch. So
Okay.
I've been wanting to get back, and I actually reached out to him already. So once we get together, I really, really want to do a track with Fat Joe. I want to do a track with Fat Joe, and obviously I would love to do a track with Nas. You know what I mean? That would be like the pinnacle. Fat Joe, Nas, and Cube.
Okay.
Cube would be another one.
There's some pretty dope artists right there, man. I could hear you guys on the track together. That's tight. That'd be badass, man. It's definitely possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, for sure. On a different level, like just with Raza, I would like to do something with Rob, Lil Rob. I'd like to do something with Bash.
Nice.
If I can eventually somehow, I'm sure I'll meet him at some point. I'd like to do something with Mr. Shadow. I would like to do something with Reverie. She's super dope. I like her a lot.
Yeah, I heard her.
Yeah, Reverie. And I think that's, I mean, obviously the pinnacles, bro, like, you have to get to a certain level, but I think anyone would love to do a track with Eminem or Jay-Z, right? Or Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, those guys. But the thing about those, I'm realistic, bro. Those guys' rap levels are. Whew.
Oh no, I feel you, man. I know how it goes, man. It's crazy out there, man.
Yeah,
some great artists out there, different levels in the industry and all that shit. I feel you.
Yeah.
Who have you worked with in the past, man?
Chris Rivers, Big Pun Son. Diamonique, Glasses Malone. Who else? David Rolas.
Okay.
Shit. Who else? Mellow Man Ace, Kid Frost.
Okay.
Let me see. Who else?
Some OGs right there.
Yeah, Be Real.
Nice.
And that was through Mello, because I actually was running with Mello for a minute. He was like, he took me under his wing. He asked me if I wanted to be his hype man, and then he would take me on tour. He would let me perform shit off my own album, go out and sell my album. It was always dope. He was rolling with Mellow Man Ace. It was like my first time ever, like really doing shows outside of the state. Like we went to Pueblo, Colorado. We were in New Mexico, Arizona, places like that. So, Texas. Let me see who else. I didn't do a song with him, but obviously he hosted my mixtape, DJ Tony Touch. That was huge for me, because it's like, that's Tony Toca, you know what I mean?
That's badass.
Yeah, super cool dude. And those albums are all, like, for anyone listening, bro, like, even yourself, you go to Tony Nario, all those albums, I re-uploaded everything, so you'll see all that. Like, I have The Escape, my first album, My Neck of the Woods Volume 1, and My Neck of the Woods Volume 2, which is hosted by Tony Touch. And now I have the new project soon, you'll see. I'll be dropping like a little 5-song EP mixtape on SoundCloud, complete with videos over the next 2 months. And then me and Breeze are working on a whole nother project that we're gonna drop following that, and we'll just keep going from there. I'm in a creative mood right now, so I just keep working.
That's badass, man. That's good. You got ambition, man. You got some goals to set to achieve. I feel you, man. That's good. I can't wait to hear more music from you, man. The tracks that I have listened to from you, they're pretty fucking sick, man. They're dope.
Thank you,
the one I played the other night was pretty dope.
What did you play?
I can't remember what it was. I have to check, man. I can't remember. It was the one that Breeze sent in the other day. It was a Breeze beat, I think. It was just what he said. You guys sent it in like 2 days ago.
Maybe it was Game Don't Wait or Still Trippin'. Was it Spanglish?
Oh yeah, it was Game Don't Wait, I think. Yeah, it was that
Game
one.
Don't Wait. Okay.
Yeah. That one's clean. And then the one and characters as well. Sick ass track, man. Sick ass track. I really enjoyed that one.
Both produced by Breeze, man. That dude's a genius.
Yeah, man. He's dope, man. Breeze is dope, man. Feel the Breeze podcast. Be sure to check it out, guys.
Oh yeah, OBM.
Yeah. What's your favorite track that you created thus far?
Out of my whole career, or from this new project?
What your favorite song from you can say both. You can say both of them.
From my whole career, I would say it was a track that got me like a lot of traction, which with me and Tommy. It was called Dougie Fresh.
Okay.
And it was it's still a great record. It gave me my biggest push. It got me, lots of love. Video got picked up by Music Choice on Demand. MTVU was like in, I think, the 45 stores when Chic Shoes, when it first came out, they used to play music videos. So I was up in there on the video, big screen. So Dougie Fresh would probably be like my all-time favorite song, and it was fun, and the video was fun too. That's on my YouTube as well under Tony Nario. And then I would say recently, I really liked Characters, man. I fell in love with that because I was going through something. I was really going through something during that song when I wrote it. And if you listen to it, you can hear it. You know what I mean?
It's deep, bro. It's deep.
Yeah, I was just kind of going through so much, losing my cousin, losing my homeboy, I lost a lot of people during that time. And while I was losing homies, I was like reminiscing on losing my grandmother, who had already passed like years ago. But just sometimes all these different emotions and stuff, they kind of like come back, and they bleed onto records. Like, when you're an artist, that's what it's supposed to do. You know what I mean? That's why I never understand artistry that's all about boasting and just always trying to talk about either like how gangster you are or the streets. It's like, okay, I get it, that is life, but even the guys who had some of the most street records still found a way to be vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the best artists, right? Hence why you get a song like Juicy from Big. You know what I mean? Okay. But then he'll turn around and make, give
me the loot.
Give me the loot, yeah, you know what I mean? Or you're nobody till somebody kills you, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
No, I feel you, man. It's crazy. It's crazy though, man. It's different. Everyone makes music different. Some people don't understand the full concept of it. They don't have the knowledge. Like, most of us have, growing up, listening to it, even the education we got on it just from our own experiences and learning it and studying it. You know what I mean? So they just do it how they do it. You know what I mean? Some people don't. They're just going on there expressing themselves. Some people see it as a way to boast, to get fame. So that's why it's like that. But I feel you, man. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't think that that's complete artistry. I think because hip hop became a hustle, people will try to use that angle just to make money off of it. And that's fine. Do your thing. You know what I mean? Do your thing. But at the same time, I still look at it from an artistic standpoint. That's why, I love when Kanye gets weird with his shit, because if you understand artistry, then you'll pay attention to it and not just go, man, that shit's whack, just because it's not doing the same old boom, 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 boom. I might not do that. You know what I mean? be
I
different.
always listen. I always gave every track a chance, even if it sounds like not too great in the beginning. And I look for the great moments in it. You know what I mean? I always admire every time, every track. Every track has something to give you. You know, it has a feeling to give you or a little something. You know what I mean? I feel you
Yeah,
what you're saying.
yeah, you hit the nail on the head, bro. I think we're not gonna like every track, and that's okay. But I think listen to it, get into it at least 30 seconds, and then if after like 30 seconds you're kind of like not even liking where it's going, then change it. You know what I mean? That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. No, I feel you, man. That's true. Man, can you tell me what's one of the most spontaneous things you've done in life or in the music? Whatever you would like to share.
Say that. Ask that one more time.
What's one of the most spontaneous things you've done in your life or in the music?
Spontaneous things I've ever done in my life. That's a good question. Wow. I don't know if I can tell you the most spontaneous thing I've done in my life. I don't know if that's for.
Okay, or in the music.
Yeah, right. Because this is like spontaneous. I've done some pretty crazy spontaneous shit.
keep it PG. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think musically was just getting up and going, bro. Like I remember, we had already been touring with Mello and different stuff, and we came.
Yo, Tony, you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Okay, my bad, man. Is getting a phone call. Sorry about that.
That's all good.
Yeah. So anyway, long story short, basically, Mello had hit us up. We are gonna be going on tour, this and that. And my boy D Royal, shout out to my boy D Royal. We're like, he was like, yeah, we're gonna take off. We're going to Arizona tonight. And then we're like, tonight? Like what? And I told D, I was like, yo, Mello's talking about going to Arizona tonight. And he was like, yeah. I said, well, he said, is he gonna pay us? He's like, yeah, he's gonna pay us and give us a per diem. He said. He was like, all right, fuck it, I'll drive. So we just packed it up in his Nissan Altima, bro. We took off, bro. We took off that night. We drove. I remember that one was one of the ones we drove Arizona to New Mexico. We ended up in Pueblo, Colorado. And that was like, I think 16 hours worth of driving. You know what I mean? I mean, we rested.
That's crazy,
obviously.
man.
Yeah.
No, that's spontaneous for sure, man. You just got on the road, all about the music. You just go on the road for the music. That's badass, man.
Yeah. Shout out
that
to
DJ
Rock. DJ Rocky Raccoon went with us. I still remember that. That's funny.
Okay, that's tight. Yeah, man. You have any last words for your listeners out there before I ask you your last question?
Man, just hey, you guys, chase your dream, chase your ambitions, stay motivated. Check out the new album Soon You'll See by your man Tony Nario. Shout out to my man Breez for helping me make this happen. OBM. Check me out on all social platforms. Stream the album. Let me know, good or bad criticism. It's all the same. I take it with a grain of salt.
Appreciate those words, man. Last question for you, man, is what is your biggest goal in life or in the music?
Biggest goal in life, man, is to when my daughter gets older to just tell me that I was a great father, because I've been trying to be a great father. In terms of music, I'm doing it. My goal is just to continue to put out. I got to a point finally where it wasn't so much about trying to blow up or nothing. It's about me putting out my art. So my goal is to continue to release my art throughout the years, no matter how old I get. Just keep pumping it out and leave my legacy, because the internet's probably going to live forever. I mean, at least until the Most High is the whole world, or if that whatever happens, right? But
no.
as long as it's here, hopefully they'll be able to find it on the net. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, man. Yeah. As far as you being a great father, just by that being your goal, you already been a great father. And also, the music, man, you're already doing it, man. You're pushing it out. A lot of music right now. You're in the zone right now. You're pushing out music. Keep going, man. You're doing the goal. You're already achieving your goals, man.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that, brother.
No problem, man. I appreciate you, Tony, for coming on tonight, man. I'll talk to you later. You have a good night.
You do the same, brother. Peace.
Peace.
say I'm old school running with the wrong tracks. I say they new school running with what's real whack. It's cool though, I give kudos. Make y'all dinero mucho, if that's what you aiming for. I never lay low, stay in my game, bro. Find my angle, money long like the hair off the little girl from Tangled. I never changed though, like a homeless on the corner with the same clothes. Chasing the pesos, y'all chasing the same hoes. So what makes y'all think we in the same boat? Chasing the same goals. I'm fly in the sky like angels with halos. I rest my case though. I'll quote Nas, rap for Nizik in the 90s. And if I never sell, I hope one day that they find me. Until then, y'all can all never mind me. I run with kings and queens and keep precise timing.
I know what it is I came to do. You know what it is you came to do. We know the game don't wait for no one, no one. I know what it is I came to do. You know what it is you came to do. We know the game don't wait for no one, no one.
I can't help it, can't stay away from boom bap. I hate swag, so I guess I have no cool raps. Fuck it, you swag time to time. I guess I'm a hypocritical type of guy. What else? I smoke cigarettes but don't get high. I guess I'm ass backwards when I'm kicking my lines. I stay confusing you like I'm speaking in Thai. If you lactose intolerant, you drinking a chai. I don't know what that means, but fuck it, it rhymed. And Alcatraz gon' do his thing till the day that he dies. My whole sole purpose kicking verses, you rehearsing, learning my words to surface close curtains when I'm working. Got your attention like a school grade teacher. Now let me sermon you like a religious speaker. Nah, I ain't gon' do that, I'm just having fun. All I gotta say, remember where we come from. Yeah.
I know what it is I came to do. You know what it is you came to do. We know the game don't wait for no one, no one. I know what it is I came to do. You know what it is you came to do. We know the game don't wait for no one, no one, no one, no.
You hear little girl, Frankie? You hear little girl, Ace? Is that a little fucking girl? What happened to the fucking tough guy told my friend stick it up his fucking ass? Huh?
No, I don't care if you like me or not. Could care less if this is really your block. Whether you live or die or you get shot, if your lyrics are cold or your music is hot, it's a new world order. I lead them to a slaughter. I take out your pops and then kidnap your daughter. Sometimes imposters try and take control, but God says forgive them, son, have mercy on their soul. The devil's like, yeah, let me possess the mind. Cross in my hand, Jesus on my neck, I'm fine. Blaze it up one time and yeah, fuck the world. Feeling like Prince surrounded by diamond and pearls. Tupac status, hit 'em up with California love. Hypnotized with Biggie staring at the sky up above. It's just one of those beats that'll have you dipping. It's just one of those beats that have you street tripping.
Somos pocos pero locos. I put this game in the chokehold. Man, I fold you like a laptop. You ain't down with them high socks, fool. I've been doing this a long time, fool. So it's my time to shine now, fool. I don't care if I'm viejo. Let's go. Shit, you gon' give me my respeto. And I do this for the clica. I take your chica, I keep her in your mouth, put my dick up in the tripas. She be like, no tripas. Well, look at who's starting it. I'm chillin', look at who's starting shit, man. I be chillin' in my own zone, but I'll pop lock like I'm ozone. And y'all know I be hitting. Now Miralos got me straight trippin'. Bunch of marks. Oh yeah.
Gene.
Hey, what up, though? You're tuned in to Tony's Talk, the flyest podcast on the West Coast, homeboy. California. Hey, what up, Tony? Shit, I'm ready, dog, bang me in.
It's still back to the money, no stopping. About to call my G's, we about to get it poppin'. Spit that real shit to keep your whole head knocking. CBC told me I got that shit to keep it poppin'. Tony on the phone, that's if I'm with it or I'm not. Told her roll a couple buses, about to be a nada. Walk up in the party like the hardest in the room. Walk up in the party with a bad bitch or two. Step up in the corner, shit, homie, what it do? It's holla at your guale and my G cartoon. Told me Beast it would be about to get it too. Pass me a couple shots so we can walk it all through shit. Tony's Talk, homie, from 21 to 22. We lifted and gifted cause we the highest in the room. We bout to get into it, baby, bring your friends too. Put the panties to the side, I'm about to get into it. Hey, so will y'all be trying me? Shit, baby, let me know. Cause your bitch, she be eyeing me. And I'm about to take her home. So will y'all be trying me? Shit, baby, let me know. Cause your bitch, she be eyeing me. And I'm about to take her home.
I done told y'all, this is Tony's Talk. It's your boy Mike, you know, the flyest one you know. Thanks for tuning in. We gonna see you next week. And the week after that.